Hello, my friends. It is Karynjean, and welcome back. I have been a bit busy off camera. I stamped these out. I was struggling as to what I was going to stamp these onto. And then I just had a sheet of old book page that was empty, and I just adhered it down to a piece of cardstock to give it a little bit of heft. Stamped it out with some VersaFine Onyx Black, did some clear embossing on them. So that's what I did there. I put this down, and now I have like embossing powder all over everything. I made this. This is a pocket, right? It's a because it's not gusseted or anything. It's a very snug pocket. And this is just glued down. This is from those shiny resin packs. I chose this one. I was going through most of them to see which one I liked best behind it, because the ink brings out that purple. And it's also enough in the background as well. This is one of our guys, the clock. And I have, you see that? The old spinners, right? From when we were kids for playing games and stuff. These, right? Woo. I got these at the thrift store, a pack of, I don't know, 10 for like a nickel or something. And I just pulled that out, and this hole here in the clock was the same size. So that's a little fun. And I still am trying to figure out what we're going to do with the edges, right? From our last video, it's how we're going to decorate, put some dimension and stuff on some page edging. But what I did, I thought I did something else. Or is this just, oh, I did. I knew I wanted to do the Eiffel Towers, but I didn't know what I was going to put them down on. So I just took some, actually this is Distress Oxide Tumble Glass. I put it down on a piece of Bristol white cardstock just to get like the sky behind it, right? It's the Eiffel Tower blue sky. Still don't know what I'm going to do with them. And then I said, okay, well, let me do these here. And what I was thinking was, because I was back here in this second signature, I was looking at this here page, is what I was doing. And so that's when I said, well, okay, let me just go ahead and do something here. Now, excuse me, I'm going to reach just to see. Well, that's not going to reach. Okay, I have to put it down here, and then it's not going to lay flat. So that's a bad idea. Okay. So this is like my jazz musician guy. And I might actually just use a little bit of vintage photo. Let me pull out my dauber here to just kind of take away the, here, let's do this. It is an old book page, but it's also kind of bright. So I'm just going to tone it down just a little bit with some vintage photo there. Let's see about this one. Just using what's on the foam blending tool here, just to take away a little bit of the brightness. The one thing I did, I gave myself a little bit of grace, and I'm like, I'm not going to cut that out with the fussy cutting. Although these really weren't that bad. Doing the fussy cutting on these wasn't that bad. There, just to tone down that book page a little bit. Okay. So these are the, what happened to the little girl? There she is. So remember, still have to figure out what I want to do with her. So this is what so this was going to be my jazz musician guy, right? sitting on the phonograph. This guy was going to sit on the telephone. I'm actually going to, let me do this right now. His coattail. Get rid of that there, coattail. There. Because it was getting in my way. Did not like it. The coattail. So he could be, you know, I don't know, sitting there. And the girl was going to sit on the bicycle. Right? That's what I was thinking when I did all that. Now, the question becomes, what are we going to do, right? We could just also, pockets, right? We need pockets, pockets, pockets. And I need to figure out what kind of pockets we're going to put in. I was playing around with different pocket ideas as well. But, you know, and now I think that this blue tumbled glass is just a little bit too bright considering, but we can play it off of, we might be able to play it off of something or other. There's blue there. And also I can tone it down with something. Just stick it there in the middle and be done with it. Just gives it a little bit of something extra. Correct. And these are doing fine now. They're all dried and working the way they should be working. See, here's a little bit of blue here. So we could put that there, or we can put it over here to carry it through. Oh, I like that. Okay, we could put this over here. To pull that over. Is there anything else we want to do with this page? This is a good journaling page because there's nothing here. What we could also do with this is we could make pockets out of vellum, clear, you know, just plain vellum, so that this will still come through. Ouch. Here, this is vellum scraps. I'm just going to use this as an example. So, right, so vellum will be folded over. So that'll still come through, not as bright. And then, because it's this, it'll carry the weight of, it'll carry the weight of pocket. So I think this, yeah, okay, I'm just going to put this one down right here. If you notice with these two Eiffel Towers, this was first generation, and then this was just the stamp off second generation. I think there's something a little bit wonky with the die itself, because you see how it comes right up to the edge here, but there's this spot. It needs to curve in a little more. It just seemed a little wonky to me. I'm going to actually use the second generation over here and gently spin over to my art glitter glue. I'm not doing anything to the edges, obviously, because that would just be too much. But, yeah, it cut out beautifully. So, I had no problems with that, with the cutting. There. I'm going to move the vellum out of the way. Actually, I'm just going to leave that right there, and we can go ahead and make a couple of envelopes with that if we so desire. I mean, it takes all of a couple of minutes to do that, right? Make sure that's glued down. Right there. Sure. Oh, that's down. Okay. So yeah, so back to something like this. And playing around on this page kind of to get rid of some of that, right? So what was I putting him on? I was putting him on the phone. So I don't know what else to do here, you know, to kind of take away some of that. We can use, what happened to it? Oh, excuse me, I have to pull my project bucket back up here. I went and I got out the other roll. Oh, it's right here on top of my desk, for heaven's sakes. This other roll of tissue paper, which, and you know, I would actually tear around it because that's just like a little bit too neat and tidy for what we're looking at here. So, you know, we could do something like that. I don't think the other tissue paper would go well here, quite honestly. So, let's see. Let's just tear away here. So you can see what I'm talking about. I'm actually just tearing away around the birds. Whoops, just chopped that bird's head off. All right, let's try again, shall we? That can be saved when it gets glued down. There. And this is a little bit too, because the top of his head is right at the top of the, whoops, there we go. Well, his head just got torn off. That's fine. Tear some of this away. Right? Like that. Just to kind of take away some of that darkness. And then, so something like that is what I'm thinking. Of course, this can be put down here where it's brighter. And, no, it's really just supposed to be in the background. And him sitting on the phone. So there's that. There's that option. There's our guy sitting on the Victrola, which music, so I think I like that one better as I'm looking at it. Maybe something a little bit underneath too. Okay, so there's that option, and then we have the girl on the bicycle. She kind of gets lost. No, not liking that one. Let's go back here to this one. Oh, that dog. She drives me crazy. I'm telling you, she drives me crazy. Don't know if you can hear the whining and the whinging. Like that. And then, of course, we can, let me hold this down here as I reach over here. Remember our wedding lace. Let me find an end to it here. Right. We can, oh, for heaven's sakes, put this down, right? Something like that. I don't know. No, that one's not going, but this might go with her, right? Because she's all done up pretty in lace and stuff. So what are we thinking? And then also, I'm not so sure this is where I want to put it because this is at the very beginning of the journal. So I was actually thinking back here on the back side of this, we can put it on the back side of this. And what we can also do, as I'm thinking about it, what we can also do is do a flip out. And have this actually covered up. Although I don't know what kind of flip out I would do because we have that pocket on that side. Let's go back to the other piece of it. Here we go. We could do it back here. We could do it back here. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move these things back into the bucket over there. I'm going to push this aside for just a moment because I am going to glue stick this. Oh, and I might just decide to use my little Elmer's here. Whoops. I have to, oh, don't have any more of that. Okay. Scotch Create it is. I'll have to go through my supplies. I might have more of that. So I'm just making sure I'm getting the edges right. Making sure that all the edges are glued up. Oh, that's lovely. I just ripped it. A little bit more gently, please, Karynjean. A little bit more gently. Oh, what was that? That's the bird's head. I'm going to have to grab that back. That's my bird's head. Although maybe, well, there it is. That's my bird's head. Let's see if I can get him back on. Oh, you are probably not even in frame. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Oh, that dog, she's whining. There. So, okay, so there is that. Now we are going to be putting him sitting on the Victrola. Do we want to do it down here? The white shirt with the dark background, it'll pop a little bit. Yes, we do. So we are going to, we're going to glue this down first because he's sitting on top of it. Oh my goodness. Right. Oh my goodness. So he's there, sitting on top of the world. Ugh. And now him. There. 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 And so now on this page, we could do some kind of flip, right? We can have it flip open. What do we have going on here? Well, no, that's not going to work. I'm not going to be able to get under it with that. It's right here. there. And there. So there's that, which I like. I think it's very nice, right? Yeah, and when we go back to, let me put this aside, because as I'm looking at these wedding trims that I have here, let's just choose a page, any page. Well, she's going to disappear on that. Let's, no, we were going to put a vellum pocket there. She might need something. This might be too light, but I'm thinking that something like this can go across the top. I'll find the end of it somewhere. Right. Something like this can go across the top. We should be able to get 3. Not 3. We're not going to be able to get 3. We'll be able to get 3. We'll squeeze it in. Right, that can go over the top. We have her, she's sitting down. We'll have to figure out what she's going to be sitting on. I don't know. He's sitting on the Eiffel Tower. So, yeah, or, like I said, something like this. Let me get a piece here. Something like that. We can glue that down to the top. We could have her peeking out right there. Right? Whoops. We could have her peeking out through a bit of it. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. We can do that. We could also do it on this page, which is already collaged. This is why I was not going to turn the camera on, because this kind of stuff just sometimes takes a while, because there are so many possibilities. So there's something like that. And then this would flip up. I don't know. I think she might get kind of lost. All right. So this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. But, all right, let's go back here and make our, where'd it go? Right here. Gonna make a vellum envelope. So we're going to make a very simple envelope. We're not using a punch board or anything. Okay. So this is how we're going to make it. Because that page is 8.5 by 5.5, right? So this is what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold this up. We're leaving about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Let's take a look. Leave 1.5 inches flap. Okay, so that's gonna make this when it's folded over. All right. So that's down. This is going to be folded over like that. Excuse my head. It's kind of hard to see this. Should have used the scoreboard, but I did not. And that's okay too. Something's gone a little bit crooked here. Anyway, so what we need to do is we need to cut this down a bit. So this, we're going to cut this here. Going to cut this piece in. We're going to cut it in, oh, let's say about, hold on, let's unfold it. I'm going to get the Stampin' Up! One for this to see. So we want to cut this in about 1, 2, 3, 1/4 of an inch from the bottom to the fold. We're cutting off 1/4 of an inch. It's very nice. It has a little pointy there, right? To tell me where the blade is. I just noticed that. Very nice indeed. So we're cutting that off. And then we're going to do the same here. Bring it back down. Line it up on that 1/4 of an inch line. And you're probably not seeing this either. Oh, for heaven's sakes. My desk is just too much. All right, let's go back here. Line it up on the 1/4 of an inch line. All the way up. Take the point to the fold. And there. Okay. 1/4 of an inch should be enough. Now, what we also need to do, and what we're going to do is we're going to round that corner, or we're just going to cut it in at an angle. Maybe just angle it. Is, let me unfold this, straighten this out a little bit. We need to also, and for this I'm going to do it here. Right, well actually we just leave this one folded. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut this down 1/4 of an inch to the top of this piece right here. Because it's vellum, we can see through it. So I'm taking this, going right there. And cutting that in. Because this is what's going to fold over and yeah, create the seal, right? We're going to glue it down. All right, so now this one we're going from the other direction because I don't think it likes going from the other direction. Dagnabbit. All right, let's try this. Oh, let's do it this way. Bring it back down, turn it to the other side. There. And cut into there. Okay, moving that to the side. Now, bringing this back down. Okay, 1/4 of an inch isn't a heck of a lot, but it's enough. So I want to, I think what I'm going to do is first I'm going to throw down some double-sided adhesive here, and then I will angle it in. That darn dog. And I'm using double-sided adhesive tape as opposed to liquid glue because it is vellum, and one moment is vellum and it's see-through, therefore you're going to see. Okay. You could have also gusseted this, but that is not necessary. All right, now I'm gonna just angle this in here, just like that. just like that. And like that. Okay. Now, as I have all these little pieces of double-sided adhesive stuck to my fingers. There. Okay. Put those back. And peel it off. And fold it over. And as I am doing this, I don't think I had it scored or anything. I'm just going to use that side there. Hold on, let me start the fold there. Oof. Okay. And use my pointy tool there. There is an envelope. Now, hello, we can also do is either cut these in or fold them over. Like so. I'm just going to fold it down to the fold line there, right? And actually, I'm just gonna cut gently across that fold. Like that, boom, and here, boom, done. Okay, so there is, a pocket, an envelope. Now, some of you might not like, it's kind of hard to see with this. This is not folding flush with the top of this, and some of you might not like that look, which is perfectly fine. Let me trim it in a little bit more. I like to have a little bit of extra room so you can get in and out of it. Why is this suddenly not working? So you can get have a little bit more room to get in and out of it. So I leave that little gap there. And certainly now that it has that mark on it and everything, I'm not going to change it. Okay, so let's pull our page over, and by just trimming it a little bit like that, it fits perfectly on the page. And we have our pocket here, and we have our pocket behind it as well. What am I feeling here? That little bit of edge. So now what we need to figure out is how we are going to put it down on the page. I could use double-sided adhesive again, or I could run a bead of glue around it. Of course, you'll see it here on the bottom. And then we can just cover that up with throwing some washi tape down along it. Or we could just throw some washi tape around it and allow for having a little, and not lose that room, is what I'm saying. The little bit of that you lose when you glue stuff down. But this is a thinner washi tape. These colors are not going to go. This bit is not good. So there's that. And we could actually decorate the top of this right? Here we go, with our gentleman on the phone. We can sit her on a phone. No, don't want to sit her on the phone. The child on the bicycle, the colors might be wrong, right? But that's an option as well. So now let's figure out how we're going to put this in the book. We could just do double-sided adhesive all around it. Okay. So let me get back out this double-sided adhesive. I'm going to move the book to the side. And where's my top? Where's my bottom? There's my top. So all the way to the edge, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is get out my little pick here, flag that up, and start the next one down, and it's going to go right on top of that. Now, because this is going to be pretty snug to the center, right? And it's not the center of the signature, it's just on a page. This here, adhering the bottom piece of it down, or the side as it is going to be in the book, might not be necessary, right? Might not necessarily be necessary, because there's not going to be any room really for anything to escape out of this side of it. So that's all I'm saying. Okay. And let's flag this up. Put that back on it. Okay. Right? Because it's going to be here. Where's this stuff going to go? Okay, that looks good to me. And now that's in. This here is going to annoy me. Excuse my head. It is not quite to the edge there, and that little bit. I don't know if I should try to put a dab of glue down there, which might be a mistake, or just cut it up, which also might be a mistake. There, just there. Just a tap of glue. Okay, so there is the, put that up. So it's still shining through. What's underneath is shining up, right? There's that. We could put something here as like a medallion or something, some type of closure. I usually go with circles. I have no idea, right? So, you know, something like, well, not that one, but like that, right? That actually might be a pretty good color. Let's see what else we have in here. Usually I have very bright things. Oh, there's a bit of gold. Whoops. It's also very pale purple. We could do that with our Dusty Concord. And now we're introducing a new element. We're introducing gold. But if we're going to be using this anyway, that's a possibility. All right, there's that. And as we're doing this, we might also want to think about if we're going to put any clusters in the book. And if we do, what will they look like? Okay, so there's a pocket and an envelope. Boom. Let me see. I might have put it too far up on there. I could always just trim that down a little bit. So there's that. And then we could also put something here, you know, decorate this a little bit with something that I don't know. I don't know at this point what we would decorate that with. But I am going to end this video here. Thank you very much for taking this journey with me. I hope that you are being very creative and imagining wonderful things. I would love to see your work. You could always contact me through my email, which is in the description box, Karynjean@xlibrascrafts.com. Have a fabulous day. I'll see you soon.